What up, world? It's your boy Chuck Wick back again with another review. How you doing? Good. All right, so it's been a minute, so I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to do another review. Try to hit y'all off with a couple joints because I've been gone for a minute. But you know, I'm just working, putting out, music, and putting out things on different media platforms. Make sure you subscribe to Audio Liquor. Make sure you subscribe to Mud Kids, MUDKIDS. Go look that up on Instagram, Mud Kids DC. Check that out. That's some real dope stuff. Also, CLBMG. We on Instagram, Twitter, all that. But enough of that. We're going to get into this review. This time, we're going to talk about your boy Kendrick Lamar and his new joint, Black Panther soundtrack. All right, so I don't know if you got your head in a hole or you live in Yugoslavia and they ain't got no internet or something, or you just don't care about nothing and you just, I don't even know why you're on the internet right now, if that's the case. But Black Panther, Marvel movie, Marvel heads. If you a Marvel head like me, if you grew up on Marvel comics, you already heard of Black Panther. So just stay. Let me get into what's going on. So Black Panther, Marvel movie is Chad Boswick, I hope I'm saying that right, as Black Panther. If you watched Avengers, things of that nature, Iron Man or what have you, all of them, you already know what Black Panther is. When I was growing up, Black Panther was just a comic book. Back when they could not make a good, decent comic book movie to save their lives, the actual best comic book movie at the point when I was reading Black Panther had only been Superman. The original Superman 1 and 2. Nobody really counts 3, but you know, that was not Marvel. That was DC. And back in the day, used to be a big debate: what's better, Marvel, DC, DC, Marvel, blah blah. I read them both. I like both magazines for what they stood for. They stood for different things. And if you were a comic head, you knew, some people couldn't even open a DC book. They hated it. Me, I like DC. Teen Titans, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern. I read a little bit of Wonder Woman, but I was in the DC. It was stuff that, that was Justice League. Things was it had his moments. But I mean, Marvel Comics, dog, like for real, like X-Men, Avengers, Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man. They had 3 different Spider-Man books, probably 4. And you had the what ifs, and then you had Secret Wars, and just all that, just dope stories. If you are like me, like a comic nerd, all of that stuff means something to you. You know what I'm saying? Crisis on Infinite Earths, that was DC. But just things like that, just moments in time. Wolverine, Daredevil, Elektra and Moon Knight, and just great stuff. You know what I'm saying? Iron Man. I used to run to the store, every month, because come out at the same day every month. The shelves would be full. And I was getting my comics from like 7-Eleven or something, just spinning the thing around, because you only had a certain amount of money, a couple dollars to figure out which books you was gonna buy. So I say that to say this. So Black Panther, I don't think Black Panther, he might have been, I believe I watched something recently that Stan Lee said Black Panther was literally the first black superhero. I believe he said he created it for that purpose, but he knew he couldn't make it a Black American. He needed to make it African for, just at the time, he knew that white readers would not, just as real, this is Stan Lee talking, white readers would not accept a superhero that was a Black American. So he had to make it African, and he had to make him come from Africa, and, just to bring that whole issue into the forefront, in a way that America at the time could digest a black hero. So this is where Black Panther came from. Just from Stan Lee was a good guy, man. He wanted equality in all levels. Just like my guy that did Playboy. Damn, I can't think of his name. I'm bugging. He just passed away. My guy that did Playboy. I see his face and I can't. this guy was for equality as well, and he did things. First person to bring up Sammy Davis Jr. into an all-white venue, let him perform, things like that, put him on TV, just things like that. He bucked the system, and Stan Lee was the same way. He created Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner was Playboy. Stan Lee was the same way. He bucked the system, and therefore you got Black Panther. And this is where you came from. Yeah, you had Power Man and Iron Fist, and you had Falcon and things of that nature. But I'm almost certain that Black Panther was the first one. So, fast forward years later, hip-hop is here. Hip-hop has been around 30 years. Hip-hop, #1 music genre on the face of the earth. You can look it up, do your Googles. We've been that way for a long time, so it makes sense. You're not going to bring out a Black Panther movie, especially in this climate where we are right now. This is like one of the most woke, conscious, eras in music, film, and everything. Right now, take away the early 90s when Public Enemy and P and X-Clan and Queen Latifah, when they were doing, it was very conscious era then, died out for one reason or another. Some people say it was a conspiracy by record labels. Some people say it was people just got tired of the message over and over, or the rappers got whacked. You pick your poison. But whatever the case may be, that conscious element of hip-hop died out. Now, fast forward, we're back. We got Luke Cage. They put it on Netflix. It worked. Smash. Out of the gate. Second season. Boom. Smash. Show didn't try to be anything. It didn't try to conform to anything. It was what it was. They made it extra Harlem. They made it extra soulful. They made it extra black, for lack of a better word. And it worked. Therefore, what does that mean? Oh, we can try another one. Let's try something else. They got something on CW. Black Lightning, something like that. And then they got Falcon in the Iron Man Avengers and all that saga. You got War Machine in Iron Man. So it's becoming more feasible to see a black character. Now, has one held his own movie down yet? No. And that's where we are right now. Black Panther, as of the time of this recording, is on pace to be the biggest superhero movie in the history of superhero movies. With that being said, how do you want the soundtrack to sound? What you gonna do? You gotta, this is a moment in time. Don't fuck this up. You know what I'm saying? Now, what you could do is like, all right, say for instance with Kanye with Ultralight Beam, and then he came with Father Stretch My Hands. Now, after you hear Ultralight Beam, and then Kanye comes in with Father Stretch My Hands, the beat build up and everything preceding him starting to rap was absolutely amazing. This was Kanye's chance to drop the most incredible verse we have ever heard in our lives. With the build up from Ultralight Beam, you had Chance going nuts, you had this whole spiritual, we're going to take it higher, if Young Metro, all this stuff comes in, Father, I'll stretch my hands, boom, classic gospel tune. And then you got Kanye, he's about to go in with the whole entire world is waiting to hear what Kanye says, and Kanye fucked it up. If I fuck this model, she bleached her asshole, and I get bleach on my t-shirt, I'ma feel like an asshole. You should feel like an asshole. Literally the worst verse possibly in the history of hip-hop. The entire album was great, but that verse, he had a chance. He had a chance to change history. Had he really scratched out whatever that shit was, went back and listened to Ultralight Beam and what preceded everything that he was about to say, he should have never came with some nonsense about a model bleaching her asshole. Point blank. So I'm like, what? What? You blew it, bro. You had a chance. This was your chance. So right now, this is where we are with Black Panther. You have a chance. to not only be great, just like Kanye said about Taylor Swift. She was almost cool when they had to blow up. He's like, oh, you had a chance to be cool, and you blew it. Right now, Black Panther has a chance to be cool. What you gonna do? You're not gonna go get classical music. You're not gonna go and get acid rock to represent the Black Panther soundtrack. You're gonna go and try to create one of the greatest soundtracks in the history of movies when you're trying to be tuned in to what is happening right now in 2018. So right now you got Black Panther soundtrack. It's the first black superhero movie, unless I'm bugging. I don't remember. Oh well, if you want to count Handyman, go for it. But I'm not counting Handyman. So I'm gonna go ahead and count Black Panther as the first black superhero movie, and we need a soundtrack. Hip hop right now, for lack of a better musical genre, is the voice of black culture right now. So what you're going to do, you're going to try to create a soundtrack using the voice of the black culture for the first black film. So what you're going to do, who are you going to get right now? Are you going to go get Young Thug? Are you going to go get who you going to go get? You going to go get Kevin Gates? You going to go get T.I.? Who you going to get? You going to go get Drake? You going to go get Drake? That's what you're going to do? Who you going to get? You really can't even get Jay-Z. You can't get Nas at this point. Nas just did the Get Down Brothers. Did the whole shit. He did the whole thing. You can't go get Nas. So who you gonna get? You gonna get Kendrick. Cole ain't gonna do it. Point blank. I just don't see Cole even wanting to do it. Sound like too much of a thing. Cole seem like he only create when Cole ready to create. So who you gonna go get? TDE. The voice of this culture right now. You're gonna go get Kendrick. The Mr. Never Let You Down, the hitter quitter, Kung Fu Kenny. Get him. Now, this is my question. Is it gonna be good? So if you're doing movie soundtracks, and you want to be good, you're gonna try to put your soundtrack up there with the best hip hop soundtracks ever created. And I'm gonna say it's some great ones out there. You have it's a high curve. Let me see. All right, so I'm gonna rattle off a few. See if you agree. You got Belly soundtrack, Friday soundtrack, Above the Rim, Rhyme and Reason, Sunset Park, 8 Mile, Menace to Society, Juice, Friday, Boys in the Hood, Who's the Man? You remember Who's the Man? Ed Lover, Dr. Dre, all that nonsense. It's some dope songs on that soundtrack. This what you up against right now. This what you up against. You're trying to compete with Nas and Belly. You're trying to compete with that. Good luck. Good luck. So right here is where we are, moment in time. You got, it's everything laid out for you. Biggest superhero movie, biggest Marvel movie. Moment in time right now, perfect time to drop Black Panther. It ain't no better time going to come before or after this moment. This is it. So now we're talking Kendrick. I kind of felt nervous for him. When they announced that Kendrick is doing the soundtrack for Black Panther, I'm sure he had already started. By the time we heard about it, shit probably was 8 songs in. Kendrick tapped for Black Panther soundtrack, blah, blah, blah. I got nervous for the kid. I'm like, this is a lot of pressure. Because if this is trash, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's mediocre, this going to start there. You know how everything going up for Kendrick? This could go right down to that. Right now, everything's up. Grammys, everything, yeah, everything, winning, everything. Everything you touch, gold finger. Throw a dud on this soundtrack in front of the whole world. This is Super Bowl. You just missed a field goal. If you lost. So now we're watching, we're waiting. We're like, all right, what's gonna happen? So he did the smart thing. He didn't try to do it all himself, but he didn't go and try to outsource the whole shit either. They didn't. They did it smart. They did it the way they wanted to do it. They plucked this piece, this ingredient, that ingredient. They already got a dope in-house team. They need to get nobody else. Team's already dope. They could do it by themselves. You can do it by themselves. You can do it alone. They didn't need to go get anyone, but they did pluck a few people. They plucked a few people. 2 Chainz, Future, you know what I'm saying? People like that. Vince Staple, the homies. But they didn't just let them run wild. They put them where they needed them. And one like, let's just do a track. Come in, you feel it out, do it. No, it seemed like to me, when I listened to this, it was well orchestrated. And then they sprinkled in the seasonings when they need them. Oh, that right there. I'm gonna leave that block right there for Vince. We're gonna put Future right there. It wasn't a whole lot of. It didn't seem like a whole lot of. Yeah, do what you want. We'll make it work at the end. No. It seemed well orchestrated. It was very, very orchestrated toward the movie. This didn't just sound like random songs. Like some of these soundtracks sound like random songs. Another dope soundtrack, Deep Cover. But some of that stuff sound like random songs. Yes, the theme song was one of the great, probably top 5 movie songs in the history of movies. Deep Cover. Snoop and Dre. But sometimes you get random songs that just are thrown together. This sounds like they had a poster of Black Panther in the studio at all times. In 360, it was everywhere. And as you wrote, you looked up at it. And maybe they had the trailer going on, so I don't know. But it always went back to Wakanda. It always went back to it felt like this was hard for the movie. This was what that was. And it felt right. It felt right. So, it's just an amazing cinematic experience. I think, as music, audio-wise, the auditory effect of what they did was amazing. So I wanna go through it because if you know anything about me, I'm a Kendrick fan. Kendrick has not let me down yet, to be honest with you. He makes me nervous every time he's about to come out. Because that's just me. I'm just nervous. You know what I'm saying? I think they great bloated, and he doesn't. This kid, he got his finger on the pulse of this, and this is what I like. So, without further ado, I'm going to go through how I see the album, the soundtrack. And again, I don't even, well, not again, but I don't listen to, I'm not a soundtrack guy. I don't go around looking for soundtracks to listen to. Oh, I got to peep that soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really be looking for soundtracks like that. But I peeped this because A, it was Kendrick, and B, it's for Black Panther. And C, and the most important thing, was the lead-off tracks were banging. All the Stars, you know what I'm saying? What's the joint with Future? Pray For Me. The tracks were dope. The tracks leading you into it made me want to hear it. Made me want to play the whole album. And that's where we at with this. So let's go further ado. I'm about to run through the track listing of Black Panther, give you my opinion of it, and we're going to take it from there. So here we go. Black Panther soundtrack produced by Kendrick. I don't know who produced it, but I'm sure Kendrick, TDE, whoever the in-house production staff, you can do the Googles and figure out who did what. But here we go. First song, Black Panther. The pianos, it's a weird structure to me. I think that it's classic Kendrick. It's what we came to expect from Kendrick. It's never straightforward, just boom. It's we're gonna tease you a little bit with this. We're gonna switch it up on you. We're gonna do a little some outside the box, some abnormal stuff. Give you some complex bars for you to try to swallow, and package that all up in a nice little bow. It is something that I would recommend for a person who likes to be able to double back to a song, listen to it, not for what you already heard. You want to listen to stuff you didn't catch. This is going to be one of them songs you're going to catch stuff a year from now. You're going to catch stuff. So this is what I like to hear. I like stuff that I'm gonna go back next year and be like, damn, I missed that. So this is dope. Good way to start this soundtrack off. We right there, Good start. It's not hip hop. This is almost alternative hip hop. What we're doing right here. Next song, All the Stars featuring SZA. This is my favorite track on here. This is probably the dopest song. I like different stuff. I like melodic stuff. This is very modern chic. It's very smooth. Synthesizers are exquisite. It sounds like they ran this through some great processing machines. It's a big sound. It's very cinematic. I dig it. It's a deep melodic type of track. And I'm listening to his bars. He could be talking about Drake. If you ask me, Drake or Big Sean. Insert either one of them. It sounds like he got motivation from one, if not both of them, and put them into this song, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Next song, X, featuring Schoolboy Q, 2 Chainz, and Saudi. Are you on 10 yet? that's gonna be in my head for a while. I like that little, for lack of a better, it's not the hook, but I like it. The little comment. It's a trap beat. It's extremely trap. It's what you expect when you're looking for a Kendrick joint. It's a Kendrick meets trap when he's doing his Dope Boy Fresh. I like Schoolboy Q. It's making me want to hear more Schoolboy Q. I do not listen to him enough. I do not listen to a lot of Schoolboy Q, and I this is making me wonder why. I need to hear more Schoolboy. 2 Chainz always, like I said before, Chainz always gets busy. I don't think, and I'm as pure hip hop as it come. I don't know why. I really rock with 2 Chainz. I don't understand any backlash to 2 Chainz in any kind of way. And you don't even hear that too much no more. Even hip hop purists are rocking with Chainz. So Chainz, he got bussy. He, you know what I'm saying? He went nuts. All right. Next track, The Ways, featuring Khaled and Sway Lee of Ray Sherman. Power Girl, I really want to know your ways. No, I like it. It's a cool. This groove is like summer meets spring. You know what I'm saying? This is like, I love the bass line on this. It's mad, like the instrumentation. It makes you drift. You wanna just sit back and think about, you know what I'm saying, just nice things. You know what I'm saying? I like it. Khaled and Sway Lee, they complement each other. I'm starting to take Sway Lee serious. I'm starting to take him serious. Like, you got a lot of these auto-tune guys that, they can only do auto-tune. Everything is auto-tune, all this nonsense. This guy, I'm starting to take him serious. He has something. Something's going on. He has some type of, he's connecting with music. His melodies are always seeming to be on point. This guy's coming to his own. He's not just this young, big-headed rapper trying to be dope anymore. This guy is starting to be a musician, and it's starting to work. This is a very 90s R&B soul, which is Khaled's lane. That's what Khaled does. So they picked a great combination. Kendrick is dope. Next song, Oops. I'm gonna say Oops. It could be Ops for all I know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what these dudes be thinking. But I'm gonna say Oops, featuring Vince Staples, and Eugen Blank. I ain't get that name right. Eugen. We're gonna keep it at that. So this is like Baltimore house music to me. Baltimore club music back in the 90s. It would sound just like this. Jungle Warrior. Just like, this is Girl, I'll House You, but a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's good. I'll let this play. If I'm letting the soundtrack ride, I'll let it ride. I'm not gonna go straight to this like, I got one song, I'm gonna bang that. No. But Vince Staples and Eugen, They made this 100% better than it was. Their verses, they went nuts. Like, it's like they went, listened to it, wrote, went back, probably listened to Kendrick again, scrapped it, wrote it again. Like, they wanted to kill this, and they did. It's a good track. And, you know, I'm proud of them guys. Next song, I Am, featuring Georgia Smith. Georgia has a beautiful voice with a lot of pain in it. And the beat is like acid rap to me. It's slow tempo, like some ghetto sex, like a ghetto love tape, ghetto mixtape, where you got your Timbs on and you're naked. You know what I'm saying? And it's hot in there and y'all just getting started, whatever. That's what this is like to me. And I think that it's real dope. But I haven't heard nothing whack yet. But these guys have a very good filter. They filter out garbage. It seems like they seem to me to understand where this music needs to go. You know, I'm gonna hurry up because I'm losing my light, so let me keep it moving. Paramedic, SOB X RBE. So that's who's on this. SOB and RBE. Nice West Coast beat. This went gang gang. This is where, you know what I'm saying, you was gonna get that anyway at some point. You put West Coast dudes in charge of a soundtrack, it's gonna go gang gang. It's gonna go hard. And this is where it went hard. SOB went hard, he went hood on this. And then, you know, that's what you're gonna get. It's not bad at all. I think you needed that voice. You needed some gang gang, a whole lot of gang. You needed that, just that youth, that vibrance, that element that's underrepresented. But the younger people gonna love that, what he said. Yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, get him, like, that shit. That's what he did. And I ain't mad at it. Pure West Coast, pure regional, and I like it. It's dope. Bloody Waters featuring Ab Soul, Anderson .Paak, and James Blake. A muted bass kick, muted snare. This is quiet hip-hop. I like it. Well, there's no such thing as quiet hip-hop, but to me, is when you dumb it down, you take away the sharpness of the instruments and you let the vocals shine. Anderson .Paak, he does his thing as usual. Now, Ab Soul, he made me a fan. I should have already been a fan, but this guy's performance on here, again, he made me a fan. I'm not going to be going around saying I'm the biggest TDE fan. I'm the biggest Kendrick fan, let's be clear. And I've heard of Ab Soul, I've heard of J-Rock, heard of Schoolboy Q, but I'm a Kendrick fan. It is what it is. But I do need to do better. I do need to do better with these guys. I haven't been exposed to James Blake. Dude, it sounds fresh on here. I'm not as exposed to him as I should be. You know, and that's shame on me. Next track, King's Dead, featuring J-Rock, Kendrick, Future, and James Blake. I won't be playing this too much. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna play this too much. It's a trap joint. It's not that it's a trap joint. I'm just not a Future fan. I'm not a Future fan. And, like, really. And as soon as I hear Future, I'm going to want to start skipping this. So this is not going to be, I'm not going to be rocking this too much. Redemption Interlude with Zakari. It's very chill. Nice chill beat. It's really more of a instrumentation. I wouldn't say it's a beat. It's good. And then the song right after, Redemption, featuring Zakari. And Babes Wadumo. Hope I said that right. Caribbean vibe is what everybody been doing lately. I'm not mad at it. It sounds like Unforgettable. Fresh Montana's Unforgettable. It's about, I can name Party Next Door. It's about 20 songs like this. But this is where we are in 2018. This is where we are. This is the sound right now. This is the sound. I can't be mad at the sound. I'm not tired of it. So I have nothing bad to say about that song. It is what it is. It's a good song. And again, you're making a big project. It got a lot of ears you're trying to catch. So why not? You have to put this on, and, you know, it doesn't take away from the album. Next song, Seasons, featuring Mozzie, Sava, and Reason. I hope I said that right. Again, we need to go back and look at the production. I don't know if they've released the producers or if it's just their own team, one or the other. I don't know yet. But again, this one is a Jamaican vibe, more of a little hint of reggae. It's a hint. It got the chanting, the reggae chanting. It's a heavy bass line, slow tempo. Black soul is pain music. The no negativity, and I think it's dope. I didn't know, from what I heard, and Mozzie's on this. Mozzie, from what I believe, he's on some West Coast, more like gang, stuff like that. And this verse, from what I heard from him, I didn't know he had this kind of verse in him. Maybe I didn't hear enough Mozzie, but I like his verse. It fits with what we're trying to do right now in this movement. It's a new movement. It's not, some old school gangster rap. Right now, it's got to be, gangster, but it got to have some meaning. It got to tell you a little more than what it used to. And gangster right now is deep. It's hard, but it's pain. It's both. And I like Mozzie's verse. And Reason got busy too. I like Reason too. Next song, Big Shot, featuring Travis Scott. This is more elaborate. It's more new school, more elaborate as trap, what I'm trying to say. More new school sound, which is what you would expect. It feels like they have went full circle with what they're doing. It's all more new school. This whole soundtrack is right now. I don't really get very little vibe that it's old school in any kind of sense of the word. This does not feel like it's going to be retro at all, and it doesn't. It's not. It wasn't supposed to be. It's supposed to be right now. It's a big stage, big platform, so they kept it new school, and I ain't mad at that. This is classic Kendrick. I love when he changes his vocal pitches, like Tupac used to do a lot of this, where he has his voice, then under the voice you have the slower pitch, I don't know how to get that little. Pac did a lot of that. If you listen back to Pac was the master of changing that vocal tone, using that. One sounds like it could be a little kid, the other one sounds like it could be the devil, demonic, like all of that. Put them all on there. 6 different sounds at the same time, and Kendrick does a lot of that. It's dope how he does that. Really, it keeps these albums moving. It keeps it interesting. It keeps you guessing, like wondering what's he's gonna do next. And Travis Scott, I don't think he's not strong enough to rock on a Kendrick song. To me, vocally, he's doing what he does. He's doing what he does. The auto tune and da da da. They're not on the same. They not. It's not the same. It ain't the same. So I get that Kendrick wanted to work with him, and he brings something to the table, and that's what he does. Blah blah. But he not on nowhere near this dude's level. Musically, he can carry, like, I love that song they got together. Goosebumps is dope. Kendrick went on there and went nuts. And Kendrick might have did too much on Goosebumps. Honestly, he might have did too much. But I don't think that reverse it, that Travis supposed to be on a Kendrick song. I don't. But that's just me. It is what it is. Last song, Pray For Me, featuring The Weeknd. Future Jungle Warfare. This is my second favorite song. This soundtrack bangs. It's right there with anything. And again, we're talking about soundtracks. I think the newest one I named was 8 Mile. What's that, 10 years ago? So you're talking average of stuff from 96, 97 up until 10 years ago. So these are older sounds. So to try to measure this verse stuff almost 20 years, like Rhyme and Reason, that's probably 20 years ago, or like Juice, it's got to be, you know what I'm saying, pushing 20 years. So we can't match it line for line, because if we they were still doing stuff that sounded like Juice and Menace to Society right now, it would be really kind of weird. So I say those albums to say, if we're going to go modern, if we're going to say we're going to put the bar at right now soundtrack as the right now sound is supposed to be. If you're measuring on the curve of the era that you're in, at the era Juice was dropped, it was amazing, it's banging. And in the era Menace to Society was dropped, or Above the Rim, or Sunset Park, in their era, they were fantastic. That's another thing we got to stop doing, trying to judge era for era. You're trying to judge 36 Chambers versus insert whatever nonsense you want to put. But 36 Chambers dropped in like 93, 94. You're trying to measure that against something from right now. It's not going to work. So I'm going to say this soundtrack, we got to put it in best hip-hop soundtracks of all time based on the era it dropped it, because there's more new stuff. They didn't try to match it and with the specifications of a 96 movie release. Right now, the music has evolved too much to try to make it sound like that. So I'm going to give this soundtrack an A+. It's very good. I don't know how much input Dre had to do with this. I have no idea. I'm sure he they're signed to him, and he probably ducked his head in a little bit or whatever. Or who knows? Maybe he did all the shit. I don't know. But it's quality. I would say go listen to this, download it, stream it. I would say go watch the movie. I ain't got to tell you that. You probably already, if you ain't already went, you gonna get it at some point. So it is what it is. Again, this is a good soundtrack, good movement. I like this wave. My name is Chuckwick Ills, Charles Brown, CLBMG. Like it, don't like it, do what you want to do. Subscribe and follow my other pages. I got Mud Kids DC. I got CLBMG. I got Audio Lick and Mag. I got Chuckwick Ills. I'm working. Franchise Report. I just started that. I'm about to do Talking Facts podcast. Stay tuned. Peace.